You there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, I cannot see you, but I think we are on different screen. You can see me, I guess.
Yes, I can see.
Okay, I cannot see you. Anyway, uh, we have to get used to. I have to get used to. Without looking at you, I cannot talk. You can see me still.
Yes, I can see.
Okay, what we are going to talk about today? I think you had some good mm, information that you were sharing with me today.
I would rather talk about the topic that we pick.
Okay, let me see. What is the topic today? Brotherhoods and sisterhoods shape your love life. Oh, oh, this is the one.
Yes.
Okay, I would say that brotherhoods, sisterhoods. Yes, it in the influence that do not shape. It doesn't shape, but it's influence. You see and learn something from your brotherhood, sisterhood, from your friend circle. You know, as we grow older, uh, you watch others' relationship, but what you do or how we shape it is learning from those around us in a way.
Can you explain a little bit more what you want to say?
Whatever I wanted to say is we watch other couples around us and we learned how other couples are in a relationship from our family, from our friends, and we learn from them. But um, it's influence ours relationship in a way from because when you are new to this relationship, uh, I would say, how did I learn about how to be a married couple? For example, like when I got married, okay, first of all, what I learned before getting married, seeing others, how they are as a couple, being married, learning some good things, some not so good things, or something that aligns with you, something that doesn't align with you. And you learn some of those behaviors and you either apply them to your relationship or you don't. In a way we get influenced by that, of course. Yeah, what you were saying that shape our love life, but in general, in its its influence is the relationship, if that makes sense.
How we understand brotherhood and sisterhood uh, same? Can you identify me what for you means brotherhood?
I don't know. like what is the definition of brotherhood or sisterhood? Like I'm thinking about it's your uh, families around.
Okay. So it's a difference between the your culture in India and in
Uh-huh.
US. In US, sisterhood is more about the group of the women who are in the same area, in the same situation. And it's very extremely popular at the high school and university to
Mm-hmm.
have those sisterhood, like a cheerleaders, dancers, and so on. And there are some communities and groups where women are joining some kind of the sisterhood
Mm-hmm.
that identify or them as a personality and their style and their goals that they want to reach. So
Oh,
it's
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 different.
nothing about the sister or brother in general. Sisterhood is not a sibling understanding about the sister. It's more about sisterhood, a group where you will have your topics, where you will have your events, where you will have a similar lifestyle, and you will spend your, let's say, if I can identify, free time together.
Mm-hmm. So it's you were saying that brotherhood sisterhood is like a sisterhood. What you give example, it's your friend circles in the society.
Yes.
Oh, okay, okay. And how you uh, separately, like you have a goal or you have some influence from that group of people.
Yes.
Oh, okay. But what I was talking about was that you know that brotherhood sisterhood is in terms of like two couples, like the couples that as we are um, um, watching other couples as example and learning from them.
So we can talk about that because maybe next time,
Mm-hmm.
because this topic is more about that isolated group of the woman or isolated group of the man who are spending time together and having some kind of the conversations during that period of time about the relationship. But it's not about you looking at others like as a couple. It's more about very um how to say isolated in a gender way, because in the sisterhood all the events are just with female friends. There is not a place to look at the couple
Okay.
because you are just females spending like a bachelor party, you know? There is no place to look. For you, it would be similar as a bachelor party when you are just with the guys are talking about their marriage. There is no influence about the couple that you would talk about.
Okay. Yeah, tell me more about it because I do not have experience what you were talking about.
So you have your friend circle, and imagine yourself just hang out with the guys and just talk about your relationship.
Mm.
And of course, you will be influenced from them how you would behave or how you would see the relationship or the couple. So, from my viewpoint,
Mm-hmm.
these type of the groups or friendships can be very toxic into yours relationship, or on the other hand it can be a very helpful for for you in a relationship. So what was your experience with your friends and your those I don't know, maybe going for for a beer in the bar, and talking about and how that would influence your view of the relationship.
Yes, to be honest, I didn't have that opportunity or the luxury of after marriage. Immediately, I came to US, and I didn't have that friend circles of people who I would share my personal life, or I didn't have the friends that I had back in India, you know. So I didn't have that kind of friend circle to talk about.
But you had before the marriage, so your friends with you who you were spending time, and I think that you talk about the woman and what and how to have a relationship and what would be the woman place in a marriage.
Yeah, no, not really. Seriously, no. This is something that you were asking. We hardly like no. Seriously, I never had this kind of conversations. Uh, like when I was there, none of our friends were married at that time. We were all single.
So, of course, you're all single, but you speak about the girls and about the women's and about intimate life and about do you want to be married or no? Woman is something that will destroy your life, or you will be happy when you find the right woman. You have that conversations.
Yes, not as a in a like okay. Uh, yes, at that time, mostly the conversation about uh, finding a hot uh, partner. Everybody was looking forward to find someone. Like everybody, our talk was okay. Let's go to this place or that place to find someone, or to uh, get hang out somewhere. you know Nobody had that, like my I'm talking about my experience. I don't know about others. It is funny that we are talking about this, that experience, or the um, timeline that you were talking about, like 30 years back you were talking about. And it's hard to recall. uh, During those time, we were not even talking about women. I mean, what we just used to hang out, and it's about not marriage, not like just find some hot chick. That is what the uh, not even dating, nothing. It's just like everybody's our focus where, oh yeah, parents will find someone, you know parents will find someone, or some relatives will find someone. Like, we were not focused on finding for ourselves.
So this is what I'm talking about, the influence. If in
Yeah.
your friend circle there would be at least two, or like let's say 50% of the guy who would say, okay, I will find my true love and I don't care what my parents will tell, influence towards your choices would be different at that time, and maybe it would change your decisions that you made. But because you was in that circle of friends and that circle of environment
uh,
where you don't care what personality you what type of the woman, what personality, what maybe look and education, or what you want to have, it would change your view at the woman and also change your decisions. Don't you think so?
yes, of course. No, it was not. I wasn't mature enough. I wasn't uh, knowledgeable enough, or uh, marriage for me at that time is to have find someone who would be compatible with the family and friends and everybody around me. That was kind of a our ideal person to look for.
This is what I'm talking. How
Yeah.
strongly friends can influence your choices, that instead of choosing what you truly like, you
Yeah.
would first, in the first position, would place that that person will suit your environment. Just think about it.
Yes, yes, yes.
So that's why those brotherhood or sisterhood, in one way, can be a very toxic environment. Because
Yes.
if you would be alone as a person and as a person, you would look maybe absolutely different.
Yes. But that knowledge, that maturity, um, that determination of choice, who you are looking for yourself, or you're looking someone for your family or friends. There is the difference. You don't
But
know yourself at all.
But it's not as you don't know yourself, it's more about that strong influence. Because
Yes.
even though if you would have an idea that, for example, from some kind of the movie, because I know that in India there are so popular movies where I will go against my family and I will marry this woman because I fell in love. And if you would talk even about this idea, I guess that all your friends would say, "Oh, come on, you are crazy. Like what you are talking, just leave it. And let's go to grab some beer instead of looking for the woman because your parents will do that. They won't allow you."
uh, yes, that's something that you brought, uh, kind of a intriguing for me to look at that. Yes, at that time, mostly the marriage was not about yourself. Marriage was about everything else, including you, not just you. It's about find someone who would be ideal person for you, to be not just with you, but to have what you have. Like it's you'd like to find someone who would be a best fit for everything around you, not just you. But when you are talking about, uh, yeah, that is the influence, but that is the actually the need is because coming from that background, you want someone who would also consider your friends, your family, not just you, right? It's the same way for
But
the other person.
what I would say that I would experience, and especially in those uh, big communities of sisterhood,
Uh-huh.
it's very, very hard, and also on the brotherhood, it's very hard to bring, as you mentioned, something
Hmm.
who didn't suit the identity of the partner, of the spouse,
Hmm.
of that group of people, of that circle. In that way, if for example I would find someone, and it's not just like your example, but also for me, if I have my friend circle where all the women around are talking that your husband supposed to earn at least 1 million a year income, and if I met someone or I'm with someone who is making just 300,000, I would decide to divorce him or to leave him because I would destroy my identity in that friend circle. And I think that you also experience that from the opposite side.
Yeah.
When you was like how to say, not chosen as a partner because you didn't fit in other person friend circle, like
Yeah.
you're not a fit.
Yes, 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 yes. But that those were all, I would say, you know, those were at that time, those were all being um, the minimum or the filtering criteria for finding a partner. What you were saying about, yeah, okay, from female's point of view, now you are saying that what is the financial uh, goal that you have for from your husband, like how much you should be making so that you will have a better life, you know. And
It's just one of the example. It can be
yeah,
that it's supposed to be fit. It's supposed to be from a good family, whatever that good family destination is in that circle. It can be that he's supposed to be highly educated, or he's supposed to have a car. Especially if you are a teenager and your friends, let's say, are looking for just for the boyfriends who has a car, or it should be a person who let's say speaks my language, or who is like the same nationality, or there can be a different base, or who is vegan, for example. So
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, no, it's
it
I know this is one of the criteria. Of course, the person you are getting married to, even back in India, everything used to be arranged marriage at during that time. Like the friend circle that I had, we were all just going with the family's directions or family's guide, whatever guidelines. Uh, but most of the time, that uh, brides' families always requirements would be okay if you're a if you have a good job, good income, probably you'll get find someone from a family who would consider to have a relationship with you or consider to let their daughter marry to you. Unless you have a good job, uh, they won't consider. Those are the minimum criteria where you are talking about the how much salary and all. But during the arranged marriage, that is the most of the criteria is what is the guy is doing. Okay, what is his education or what is his income? What is the profession he's working? So those are kind of a consideration points whether you'll have a uh, relationship with the bride's family or not, whether family will agree first of all. Like I mean, looking at my, I mean, if I have to think about my sister's marriages and arranged marriages, those were the minimum criteria or the considerations for whether the groom's family is good, have a good background, and the groom is having a good job, good salary, good profession, then those are the minimum criteria to check for. And everything is influenced around that. Depends on depends on whatever the family decides. You know, uh, this is I'm talking about arranged marriage. For love marriages, uh, I don't know what was that like. What was the criteria for the men or women? Like,
But at the same time, when you go to US, because I know your story, I don't know if you want to share. You
uh
met a different friends from, like, let's say colleagues or friends
Hmm.
who made a different decisions about their spouses, and then you shift your understanding about the marriage and then about the life, and about the criteria for the wife.
In, yes, looking at other couples, that is where I was talking about. Yeah, you see other couples, and you get, like, conversation wise, discussion wise, after marriage, hardly had that kind of friend circles that I would go and talk about this. No, mostly, and after moving to US, it was just my marriage life was as like very private.
But others who talk with you about their wives and their experiences, what they are going through.
No, not at all. That was not the environment or the friend circle that I would talk to, or we were having
So
conversation about. No.
how, my question is, how you would know that they are married, or that they have wife?
How?
Yes. You are at the work, let's say,
Yeah.
working with, let's say, in the company with the 10 different guys together. How you would know they are married or not?
Yeah, whether they would know. I mean, that's a normal question. Are you married? Are you single? No, of course. That's how you get to know people who's married or
Yes.
not. Yeah.
And then they answer you.
Hmm.
So, and then you make, and this is the answer, and that short conversation gives an influence, and then you meet, and the, or you are going to some kind of the event, or some small talk at the job, and at the same time you know, or you understand how he is in a relationship.
Yes, yes. That those conversations, like getting to know and learning to know that, oh, your wife works or your wife doesn't work. Your wife is taking care of the kids and she doesn't work. She has home, and like all this kind of talk. Yes, you get to know. Then you start to uh, think, like discuss about, yes, how is your spouse doing, or uh, other, like that is how you get to know about each other, like who's doing what, or who's married, who's not. Yes, eventually you get to meet them in friends, like events or gathering or something, you get to know.
Yes, this is what I'm talking about. And after
Yeah.
that, when the environment, your environment change, your friend
Uh-huh.
circle change, whatever you call it, friends or colleagues,
Yeah.
your view absolutely started to be different.
Yes. Views. No, compare. You compare with other couples, not view changes, like you see how they are or how you are. Okay. uh, all these things, it's an observation, you start to see, not even compare, you start to see that differences of other couples and yourself and your spouse. You start to see, notice, because you cannot notice unless you uh, see yourself in an environment.
Yes, and then if, for example, your environment would be
Mm.
where, let's say, man will give a slap if women are not cleaning dishes, and everybody would do the same, then you will compare that, oh, I'm a nice guy, I just shout on my wife, I'm not slapping her. And your like, your understanding about how you have to have a conversation, and what, how you have to communicate with your spouse would be different. On the other hand, if there will be in the environment a lot of men who would say, let say your friend circles, oh, every weekend I bring flowers to the woman, and every our anniversary I buy her a new car. Then your view how you supposed to, let's say, give, or how to you supposed to
Treat your spouse,
treat
can't
your
it?
spouse, yes, would be absolutely different.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Of
Your
course.
environment was where you started to see, oh, my friend circle wives are working, and you like, my wife is not working, and you were starting to reach that level when before that it was not an issue.
Yes. So some things you start to see like, okay, why someone's your one of your colleagues or friends' wife is you see from your viewpoint is something that you are missing in your spouse or something.
But do you think that you truly miss it if you would never get that influence out from your friends?
No, no. It's about influence because you don't know. Okay, like I would say, like I had a, uh, I had a, uh, like what I wanted to see in my spouse. I had that in my head already. Okay, what I would like to have. Okay, I had those criterias before marriage. Okay, I want to get married to someone that will be working together. Okay, I want my spouse to be working. And when I started seeing the people around me who are not working, I don't want to be around that. Like, is that okay? His wife is not working. Yeah, he's managing. He doesn't want to. So she doesn't want to work. Okay, that is not the example I would take and influence to not to let my spouse to work. But I would rather be around the friends where their spouses are working. How my spouse can get influenced by their spouses to work. Okay, so it's influence or get help to start working. Okay, something that uh, I had in my head. Okay, it's of course what you were saying that okay, if your friends are beating their spouse, abusing their spouse, or carrying them more than you are, and abusing them more than you are, then you get influence. But that comes based on like I have seen not abusing but how they were treating, then I would see that as a negative and I would avoid those friends around me. You know, if I see something negative I would normally avoid them, not to be part of the friends group or be around those couples. uh,
But you know what I heard right now, what really convinced me again, how strongly friends can influence the others, because you
uh-huh,
was choosing the friends that would influence your wife to make a decision that you wanted,
uh-huh,
or instead of having conversation or hearing what she said to you, or making a decision that this is not a person that I thought that I will be with. You
uh-huh.
was using friends, if I understand correctly, to uh, get her a job in general. Like it's the like very harsh view of the
Yes,
experience that you can.
yes, because I wanted to be around friends where I see. what I wanted to achieve. Uh, for example, yes, I used to have friend circle where their spouses are working, so that I was so that my spouse can get help from, because it's a process to learn how to get a job or what to do, and I cannot get that help, or my spouse won't get that help from a spouse who is housewife, just staying home mother or staying home wife, so what do you learn? You learn from those people around you.
Yes, but I'm not talking about your, but what you shared, it can be a
Yeah,
very good
yeah.
example how you can, because in general, if it's a
Yes.
couple, it's
Mm-hmm.
supposed to be two people decision. Okay, let's say I want to find a job. What you can help, and you would say, okay, let's go to meet these friends. Maybe they can help you
Yes,
to
yes.
navigate into the job, and other choice would be the other conversation with your spouse just brought that person into the circle where you want him or her
Oh, okay.
to
No, no, no,
change
no.
in the way
No,
that you
we
would like.
had that conversation. No, I mean, if you are talking about that, was I was forcing her, influencing her to? No, no. It was our decision that she wanted to do job, and my spouse wanted to do job, and she started making friends with the neighborhood women's also, like making friends on her own, not just my influence, but yes, that was the baseline, like she wanted to do also work. Okay, but uh, I mean, without that, you are just influencing someone to do murder, basically, because you wanted to do the murder, you wanted to influence your spouse to be part of that murder, like a something that you wanted to do without having your spouse agreeing to that. You are just influencing to get her do that. That's manipulation. No, that's not what I'm talking about. When your spouse is also in the same mindset, then you get to know and make friends uh, around those circles where you get
Yes, but
knowledge.
I'm not blaming you or telling you. I'm just telling about the situation where friends can become toxic, because this is the very casual pattern for the person who is, for example, addict to the drugs,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
to drag his partner in the same friend circle, and also to force, without the force but with the environment, and changing and shifting their friend circle, also to make that decision and to be there. So my main thought by talking about this topic was to make people to think
Hmm.
what type of friends or environment they are choosing, and it is really helping
Hmm.
for the relationship, or it's more making uh, problems and conflicts and disagreements between the couple, because our goal in general in all of these conversation is to make couples stronger and to have a better communication.
Yes, but it is necessary too. How would I see, going back to the whole lifespan from India to coming here to making friends and be around friends where you get help, support, and influence. Uh, how you wanted to shape your life. Okay, so of course that is there. That your friend circles also shape your life, not just love life, your life, whole life, who you are with, who you are around with, then having babies or the kids growing up, raising that up, you choose who your friend circles are, who your close family circles are, who your kids are being around with. And you start to choose this. Of course, there is an influence, who you are around with. And uh, that comes with your choices. You just don't make friends with some drug dealers, right? If that is not your values. But if you wanted to have like your drug addict friends around you, and that is who you are, you'll make friends with drug addicts, definitely. So it's who you are choosing to be around you, you know? And that's something I realized, that my choices of friends and friend circle was different than my spouse's choices of friends and friend circle.
Yes, and this is where I would say when friend circles of the couple become too different,
Hmm.
it uh, most often will brought couple towards divorces
Hmm.
because of the toxicity towards the couple and their relationship and huge impact that your friend can make.
Yes. Yeah, I totally agree with that. Like, of course, it's not just not that it's going to bring to the divorce, but it shows your values and your spouse's values, those who are not aligned before, so that it gets clear, right? It becomes clearer.
I won't say that values. Sometimes you just get into the circle, and especially if you are more sensitive or more empathetic or not so strong, you don't have your own roots, let's say, and um, this is where you can become a tool to be shaped based on the environment that you are. It's not maybe your choice that oh, I really like this friend circle and that's why I'm making a friends with them. Sometimes I would say you get into the friend circle. What I also notice through my clients, that would like like get you into the circle, and you are not able to get out because of some kind of vulnerabilities that you have into that circle. So I won't say, I always have a belief then that in a friend circle
Mm-hmm.
there is a definition. Let's say if it is a sisterhood, uh 20 women who are friends.
Mm-hmm.
In that circle, there is a definition about the spouse that you have to have when you are into that circle. But it doesn't mean that all 20 women thinks the same. You just have to talk the
Mm-hmm.
same to belong to towards that circle. And if you, for example, want to belong into that circle because of the different um let's say goals, by faking that you align with their definition about the spouse, you are starting to become it, because if you repeat the same thing multiple times, it gets stuck. This is psychology into your head, that this is how it's supposed to be.
Mm. Yes. Yes, that is true. Like what you were saying, like not every friend circle needs your uh, has to be the same. because you make friend circles based on certain needs or certain uh, uh, support, so certain criteria that you have. Not
I would say
all the friends are going to be
it
exactly same.
I won't say it's a support. I would say you need that
No, no,
validation
no,
that
no,
you are
no.
making a
Hold
good
on,
decision.
hold on, hold on. I'm not saying support. I'm saying that not all friends fit into your life exactly at the same time. Let's say you want some friends to who you gain some knowledge about coaching. Okay, you have those circles. Now you have some friend circle who you go socialize with. Some friends you have those who invites to your home. So you have different friends for different needs. What I'm saying.
But most of the time,
Hmm.
you are friends with that person, it doesn't matter in which area, because you need that validation.
I don't know about validation, but you need that person for, like, I wanted to have a relationship with a coach, or because I wanted to learn something from that coach. Maybe I need
But
uh, some help
learning
on.
is not learning is not a friendship.
No, 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 no. Learning is not a friendship. I'm saying that you get. How do you make friendship? What is your criteria for making friendship?
Most of the time is the people who are in my environment, and we have the same view or similar view of life.
Okay. Does all your friends have the similar views that you have?
You know what I would say, uh, and I would say it in a very simple example that you would understand what I'm telling. When I made a decision that I will divorce,
Uh huh.
I was looking, and my circle was about the woman who was just after divorce or thinking about divorce
Mm-hmm.
or getting into that spirituality and aligning with themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Because I need a validation. And also, there was some of the women who are after divorce but having a successful life, because I needed that validation that my decision is right, that my spouse is bad. And when I'm in a circle where everybody are telling, "Oh yes, my ex is also was doing like this. He was toxic and all," I got that what you say support, but in reality, it's just validation about my decision.
Yes. No, I see that. My choices, I mean, if I have to think about myself, my friend circles and choices of friends that I call them friends is, if my values, I'm going back to even before marriage, my choices of friends is whether my values are aligned not with theirs, but I would say their values are aligned with mine.
But at the certain life experience, and for example, what I also want to tell,
Uh-huh.
during the divorce, for me to be next to the couples who are happily married was
Uh-huh.
painful, and I was avoiding that. I was not talking with them because they were talking that, "Oh, yes, we also have some fights, but everything will figure out." And that was not a validation that I needed. That's why I disconnected or didn't had such a strong connection, or was trying to find that in their marriage is something bad. They are just not making a decision.
Yes. Yeah, there are couples like, uh, you know, I had a friend. Uh, this is like in US, like after marriage, uh, we had a friend, uh, neighbor friend, and they were neighbors. Then we become close friends, and after a couple of years into this friendship, one day his spouse came to our home and started talking about that his her husband, my friend, is having an affair with someone else. That's what she thinks, and it was shocking for us. Like, how is that possible? Like, what's wrong with them? uh, and our first instinct was to help her, okay, to support her. She came and she talked about, she cried and all. Like, at that time, we were just giving her support to find out what is truth or lies. And just don't think, because she was coming up with a lot of her imagination and all. And was that the time that we would just leave them alone, like not to support her. And eventually, yeah, I spoke to my friend about it later, and his they were going through some rough pages in their relationship, but he was not cheating or anything. He was just spending more time outside, because he was a sportsman. So he was playing games, sports, outdoor, and coming back home less. That was the only reason that she was getting panicked, a panic attack. But what was going through their relationship, I have no idea. I never asked about it. I never talked about it, or they never told us about it. They're still together. Uh, what happened or what didn't happen between them, it's none of our concern unless they wanted to share. So,
But let's say in this environment, if she would come, and I will tell the story after that. It's just
uh,
for the people to understand.
uh,
In that scenario, if she would come to the couple
uh,
who also, let's say, experienced cheating and align with that emotion that she has, and would support her by more and more believe that
uh,
her spouse is cheating on her, by approving her, like what you say, imaginations, she
uh,
would start to believe in that even more, and probably that would destroy. That's why it's very important what kind of the
yeah,
friend
yeah.
circle you have,
Yes,
because
we could
your
have validated her imagination to be true, and she would have been gone into more depression. Rather, we supported her, saying that no, it's not cheating. I cannot trust this. I cannot believe this, because I had a very strong belief that my friends cannot cheat. Like, I
so
knew that friend, because my choice of friends are like, um,
no, like I'm just saying, I'm not telling you
no,
that
no,
you
no.
did wrong
I'm
or right,
just,
but it's not about your belief. Facts are
yeah, yeah.
facts, and you
Facts are
can
facts.
believe or don't believe that one or another person can do one thing or another thing,
Yeah.
but the facts are the facts. So, but why I'm telling that friendship in general can make a very big damage, because as I was a child, I remember very uh, like my memories are very strong, when one of my mother friend always was physically abused by her husband, and she was going for a support to my mom after every abuse. She was sitting in our apartment and talking with my mom, and she was telling, oh, like it just like happens, he will change, you will see, he will come back with the flowers and everything will be fine. You know that you just have to understand his decisions, and next time be a little bit nicer, don't provoke him and let him to do what he wants to do. And I would say that it's a very toxic environment, and it's in a multiple ways and experiences. As I see, it's very important to be very strong with understanding about the relationship, and to be aware that your friends most of the time will give you advices based on their, as you say, values, but I would say belief system. Because what you said, like, I don't believe that he could do this. You
Mm.
don't know. Because you are not living with that person, you are not being with him 24/7. You have no clue what your neighborhood or friend do or do not if he is not telling to you.
Yeah.
So I would say that in a couple, you have to remember that you know your spouse, your partner, the best, and only you, no one else.
Hmm. Yeah.
And what you mentioned, gut feeling, is telling you this is the true answer. And if you overthink the relationship, probably this is where you have influence from the environment, where you will start to question, is this person right for me or not? Because I would say, from my experience, even in a relationship with you, all the conflicts and all the neediness from you came not from two of us, as I know you and I know your decision, but through the environment and surroundings that I'm with, even through my friends, the influence, and then my questions. Oh, he's doing this. Do you think that this is how he's supposed to behave right now? I think that he's supposed to do this or that. And this is the influence. And if I would be not strong enough, I would make a decision that you are not right for me.
Yes, your
Or
expectations
or
versus
it,
what is reality is totally two different things.
it's
Yes.
not my expectations.
No, no,
It's
not yours.
also, it's the person expectation that I'm with, because
Yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
have the fear of not belong or not have an environment.
Yeah.
It's very strong. On the other hand, I would say, when I was in a very toxic relationship, and I was blessed by meeting and going into the environment where was a different circle of the women, and hearing their stories and their choices influenced me and made me to identify what is the healthy relationship, and this is how the healthy relationship supposed to be. Because I remember when I coach um one of that, a couple of those women's, I was so curious because I was looking at the relationship. In every one-to-one conversation, I was asking, are your partner calling you? Are you talking with him every time? And how long you are talking? What kind of the relationship it is? It
Hmm.
was my questions as a coach, but for me it was curiosity. And when they're telling, yes, he's supporting me, and also he's planning to come for a weekend, and all of that. And for me, it was surprised because I never experienced this type of the relationship. So In one way, yes, your environment can help you, but at the same time, it can be a very toxic environment and make a very negative influence for you, and decisions that you will make, not because you feel this way, but
Mm.
because this is the environment and influence. And I would say that my marriage was more about the influence from the environment than my choice.
Yes, and there is nothing wrong with it because you are not mature enough. Even my marriage was the outcome of my family's choice, and of course, my recommendations or my criteria for the person who I was looking for was in that mix. And it was not, if I had to think about myself for who I am, and uh, when when I proposed to you, that was purely my decisions of about me, how you um, how I feel you being in my life, and how I see yourself in my life. And it's at that time it was a different choice. I mean, it's not leaving that responsibilities of choices uh, based on society or based on friend circle, or there was no filtering criteria, but it was just my choice of my values, of my uh, uh, like it was coming out of my desire, needs, and values, and everything else. It was uh, that the consideration of you in my life is not being influenced by anything else. That was something that I realized. And looking back, yes, we didn't know. We didn't know, and that is how everything, most of the time we make choices in our life, is that you didn't know enough. You didn't have enough knowledge.
It's I won't say that this is knowledge. I would say that this is your strong understanding and um, creating relationship with between two of you, not of everybody around you. Because I would say that in even our relationship experience, you had enough experience and influence not to have relationship with me because of the different views
Yeah.
uh, their definition of me, of who I am from their experience. So, but I think that this is where we can end this conversation because we talk and discuss about this with a very clear identification what influence can be, and also a very good examples from our own and also from others people's experience that was in our life,
Yes.
about the impact of friends and how they can create, build, and change and shift your understanding about the relationship and about your partner.
Yes, absolutely.
So, thank you everyone who was here, was listening to us. And I hope that you will join us next time. And if you have any kind of your views or thoughts, share with us.
Yes, thank you everyone. Love you.
Love you too.